Kembo Kembo na TATA NZAMBI, umfumu chako Yesaya Kongo, so nini na nini somandla. Siemi betwa bumbote bana ba isolele. Molweni bantwana babawo oswe mazuluini. Moriega shiana shiangai. Mpo salama watoto wa Mungu. I greet you in the name of Sonini na Nini Somandla, Ngai Murungu Mwene Nyaga. Worthy is he to be praised, Banabeto. All the Kembo, all the esteem we give unto him. Worthy is he to be praised. Yes, it's that time we sit and rightly divide the word of truth. And the son in Embo. There's something that came to my attention, Banabeto, when the word of TATA NZAMBI came unto me, this joyous samba. And I wish for us to glean over it by the Kembo for his ngolo. May he take what is ours and give us what is his. I will call this one Dan, the rise of the Antichrist. The account of Dan's birth is contained in Genesis 30, 1-8. Rachel, who had remained childless, was envious of her sister, Leah, who had already given birth to 4 sons of Yakubu. Barrenness, Banabeto, is held with great shame. So Rachel followed the custom of the day and presented her maidservant, Bilhah, to Yakubu as a third wife. When Bilhah gave birth to Dan, Rachel considered the children her own. Rachel named him Dan, meaning he judged, because she had felt that Sonini and Nini had judged and vindicated her through the birth of her child. On his deathbed, Banabeto, Yakubu pronounced a blessing over all his sons, and Dan was promised the role of judge. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Isolele. Dan's blessing also included these words: Dan will be a snake by the roadside, a viper along the path that bites the horse's heels, so that its rider tumbles backward. As seen in verse 17. Among the Zulu, the word for judge is Ijaji. Among the Igbo, it's Kipe. Forgive me if I'm butchering your languages. Umkwebi in Isiklosa. Umkumkanza among the Nyanja. And Waweruza Milandu. So the reason I bring out these names, Banabeto, is that you can see decision makers have always been part of the tribe of Isolele. And the children of Dan, according to Genesis 46:23, Banabeto were Usim. And if you check in the Isiklosa Bible, the 1975, you can get your hands on the copy, it says, Onyonyana Bakad Dan Ushim. So it confirms this, and if you go down to verse 24, it talks of Onyana Bakanafteli, yes, KwaZulu Natal, Guyatseli, and Nunguni, the Nguni people, yes, those in South Africa, Noyetsere, not Shilem. So this being a son of Yakubu, I was very curious as to why he is not mentioned. There is not much information we get about him beyond the fact that Dan had only one son, Usim, to carry on his bloodline. That is Genesis 46:23 for your own reading, Banabeto. He's listed as Suham, an alternate spelling of Usim in Numbers 26:42, and identified as the ancestor of the clan of the Sunamites, or Shunamites if you prefer. Nothing else is disclosed about Dan in the Bible, besides what we find in the testimony of the patriarchs. Some of Dan's descendants are mentioned in the days of the wilderness wanderings. You have Oliab, who was a skilled craftsman appointed by Nini and NINI to work on the tabernacle. That is according to Exodus 31, 6, 35, 34, and 38, 23. An unnamed son whose father was from the people of Kamata, an Egyptian, if you prefer Banabeto, and whose mother was from the tribe of Dan, had blasphemed the name of Nini and NINI and was put to death. That is according to Leviticus 24:10 to 11. Ahiezer was also a leader of the tribe of Dan. That is according to Numbers 1:12, 2:25, 7:66, and to 71, and 10:25. When Isolele Banabeto entered the promised land, the tribe that descended from Dan was allotted a portion of the land of Canaan between the land of Yaoundé and Ephraim, bordering the Mediterranean coast. However, except for the valley of Zora and Eshataol, as the Mundele would have us think, Dan's tribe failed to gain control of the territory, especially after the Philistines settled there. In the book of Judges, Samson, who was from the tribe of Dan, was, excuse me, the chicken seems to want to join the class. Dan was called by Nini and NINI. Samson, who was from the tribe of Dan, was called, in the book of Judges, was called by Nini and NINI to fight against the Philistines. Eventually, Dan's tribe migrated to the north. Now you see, Banabeto, I need you to pay attention to that. Eventually, Dan's tribe migrated to the north and seized the city of Laish and renamed the city Dan and took up residence in the surrounding areas. In the Moses blessing, Dan's tribe is called a lion's cub, springing out of Bashan. Some believe the reference Banabeto relates to Dan's northern migration and capture of Laish after Dan resettled to the north. The tribe became associated with idolatry. That is according to Judges 8:30-31, where you find Jeroboam placed the two calves, one in Dan and the other one at Bethel, because apparently they were tired of going down into Jerusalem. Robert Headley has done amazing work with his calendars, more amazing than I can do for you, Banabeto. But if you look at one of these old maps, you can see and you can see this is the Congo, Manza Congo, down to South Africa. So when I continued to pursue this lead on Dan Banabeto, in Revelation 7:4-8, we are told of 144,000 sealed or protected servants of Nini and NINI Somandla, who will minister during the tribulation of the end times. The sealed comprise of 12,000 individuals from each of the tribes. The tribes mentioned are Yaoundé, Reuven, Gad, Asher, Naphtali, Manasseh, who is sometimes is also known, who's also the tribe was also known as the tribe of Joseph, Simoni, Lawi, Issachar, Zebulu, Josephu, through Ephraim and Benyamini. For some reason, Banabeto, the tribe of Dan is not listed, and in its place is Manasseh. And upon looking further into the tribe of Dan, Banabeto, we find that the two golden calves placed in Dan and in Bethel have the representation of a deity, the simplest justification to interpret its fabrication as a transgression of the Decalogue, prohibiting both the cult of deities other than the worship of NINI and their worship through statues and figurines. The possible conflation of the golden calf with calf-shaped gods such as Baal in Canaan. We have Ra, Apis, or Ptah in Kamata. We have Sin in Mesopotamia, which Banabeto supports the premise we have been driving all along, that Isolele has had an inclination of worshipping foreign gods at the expense of the worship of TATA NZAMBI, our mighty one. The golden calf account in Exodus 32 and the golden calf stationed by Jeroboam in Bethel, as we had seen Banabeto. In the way they are described in Kings, Jeroboam's golden calves are not considered idolatrous by the authors of the book of Kings. We know who authored or who sampled our books, but rather an inappropriate worship of NINI and NINI. This view is confirmed in 1 Kings 12, 27 to 28, which explain that the setting of a golden calf in Bethel was intended to challenge the worship of NINI and NINI in the temple at the Jerusalem, not to actually abolish it. In light of this parallel, the golden calf should not be approached as a case of idolatry. At best, it becomes an improper mode of NINI's worship. This interpretation is most important for clarifying the motivation for the fabrication of the golden calf immediately after the Sinai covenant, and even the participation of Aaron in this venture. But it also introduces a new problem for us, Banabeto, because the breakdown of the Sinai alliance and NINI and NINI's withdrawal amid Isolele seems disproportionate if the transgression of the golden calf was not idolatry, but an inappropriate mode of worship. So what am I saying, Banabeto? Some of these genealogies we are reading in these books, we really need to examine them. Because the word of TATA NZAMBI came to me in a vision. In this vision, Banabeto, there were two eagles. There was a rooster, and in its wings, the rooster carried a lion, and they were all flying. The eagle had an egg in its talons, and the dragon was playing a harp. The egg was growing as long as the dragon was playing the harp. And every time there was an interference with the playing of the harp, the egg would not stop growing. This very same egg, Banabeto, was meant to conceal the fact that the rock of St. Peter is going to be split, and one with an issue of blood is going to sit on that. The snake Banaveto will turn itself into an eagle. And this eagle is what, if you ask the Zulu, represents the one that is known as Moshiki Wadamu, the one who comes to spill blood. There was another eagle above the Eastern Sea. It was carried by the winds and it relieved itself upon the waters, and man turned to beast. The eagle will pluck out the eye of the dragon Banaveto, but the dragon will seek vengeance for its children. The eagle has given a feather. This feather has a star. It's a 4-pointed star. For the dragon must avenge the seed killed by the eagle. I do not say these things to scare you, Banaveto, but you are sons and daughters of Muntu. This is a message for you. This is a message only you can understand. I pray that TATA NZAMBI gives you the insight to understand, because I can only speak as much as I'm allowed to speak, Banaveto. But know this, the birds are symbolic of those that lead them. The music they play is in their systems. The music from the harp, do not think of it as literal music, but think of it as transmission of waves. For the sheep is in the jaws of the lion. The sheep has been freed from the jaws of the lion, but the sheep is still bleeding. One with an issue of blood is going to sit in that desolation. But do not be afraid, Banaveto. Just come out of her. Come out of her. Come out of her. For the land of your ancestors is calling. They speak to you, they speak to us, and they are speaking the same message. Do not be deceived. For the eagle that will pluck the eye is just the reverse of where our brothers are stuck. Do not be afraid, for TATA NZAMBI, for his KEMBO by his Ngolo goes before us. Keep your faith and your confidence and all your substance in him. Make his feast your delight. For though Moshiki claims blood, our Father, the fetus continues to grow. Kembo kembo na yo, na TATA NZAMBI, ufumu chaho yisaya, so nini na nini somandla. Forgive me, Banaveto, for being rather vague with this prophecy, but seek it within you. for his spirit reigns in you. Bayete, my kings and queens.
Rise of a nation sounds from a liberated Bantu.
Kikundi Bana Bantu. Mtoto wa Kibantu.
All praises to Nini. Unhanda Bana Bermutu.